Nice to meet you, a place where we want to strengthen relationships in the industry by highlighting others and what they're doing in business. My name's Denise, and today I have the honor of interviewing not only colleagues, but my friends, Steve and Paula Parker from The Profitable Dentist. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi, Denise.
I recently spent a great amount of time with them on a bourbon trail. We had a good time and we've strengthened our relationships, and they do such great things in the community. I really want them to talk about and tell everyone what they're doing. So let's just start right off and tell us about you and your business.
Well, I'll kind of start. First of all, thanks for having us on. Nice to meet you and everybody who's listening. We do a lot of things in the dental media world. The Profitable Dentist magazine was started in about 1987 by Dr. Woody Oakes. He has since moved on, and we've taken that over. I worked with Woody for several years in the transition phase. We have a meeting that we actually started the first private meeting in Destin, Florida. Wow. So a lot of your listeners probably went to the Destin Spring Break Seminar for many, many, many years. And what we've tried to do with our media company, the Profitable Dentist Media Company, is transition from big meetings to more smaller curated meetings like bourbon trail events and cruises and places that are less about CE, which 35 years ago, that was CE. That's where you got it. You either went to your state meeting, the Hinman meeting, Chicago Midwinter, or a private meeting like ours. And also transition the print magazine, which people still like to get. They're just really hard to do and really expensive. And they're static. To an online, very vibrant, active engagement tool like you're doing right here, where you can click, you can know who's getting traction, who's building and who's not. And so what we're trying to do is do exactly what we did for 30 years, which is have practice owning dentists help practice owning dentists be better, and just bring it into sort of a new media landscape. So is that about right? Did I say that well?
I love it. You guys are doing a great job of this as well.
Thank you. We have a good time at it.
I can tell. You can always tell when someone loves what they do. And that's what I love about you guys. You guys, I can tell you really have a passion for it. You're not just going through the motions. You guys love what you do. And that's why it comes out so well. So I love that. Which brings me into my next question. Tell us the philosophy, if you will, of the Profitable Dentist.
I think fundamentally what we've evolved to, especially in this, this day and age, we'll call it this era of dentistry, and there have been about 3 or 4 eras of dentistry. In this era of dentistry, there are a couple things happening. Fundamentally, I think, is the growth of non-dentist owners. So DSOs, I know when people say that, they think of, giant DSOs, these behemoth organizations. And that really is just a small percentage of groups and group practices. There are dentists who own beautiful, wonderful DSOs. More so than the big ones are the non-dentist owned DSOs. So in fact, where we live around Louisville, Kentucky, one of the largest groups is a guy who was a salesman for Henry Schein for about 2 years and said, gosh, I can do this. So he had a friend who was a dentist, and they put together a group that's adding 3 or 4 or 5 practices a year. And they have a valuation of probably $20 million in 3 years, 4 years. A practice owning dentist, somebody who went to dental school, that is inconceivable. They don't even know how that's possible if you're not a dentist. How can this guy do this and not be a dentist, have an accounting degree? So our philosophy or underlying philosophy is we work with practice owning dentists, not just practice owners, and not just dentists. You can be a dentist and work for a big DSO and not really care if you make a profit or how you retain hygienists, all the things that are going on right now. There's a unique niche that is practice owning dentist, didn't go to business school. They went to dental school. They don't understand what it takes to build a business. So that's really our focus and philosophy, is to help those people deal with the very rapid changes in the industry and, be successful practice. You can still be a very successful solo practice owner. You can also be a very successful small group dentist owner, as
Mm.
opposed to an accountant who understands this completely and starts a small group. So our philosophy is to stick with and focus on those dentist owners and the uniqueness of them trying to run a business with a clinical education. And we try to really bring together, I feel, bring together people who help them do that.
Mhm.
And they're in business to focus on that same market. There are giant accounting firms who will help a large DSO. They're giant law firms,
Mhm.
huge supply companies. Everybody wants to help a DSO with 250 offices. But it's harder to find somebody who wants to help, good old Dr. Jones and Dr. Smith, who've been down the street for many, many, many years and really don't understand the business. So
Right.
that's our focus. Our philosophy is anything that elevates that piece of the market, like we've always done. We want to champion that small dentist owner.
I love that because I think there is a definite need for that. And so you have a spot there. And I love that you guys care, because that's the thing is, like you said, they can get in there and do dentistry, but they may not know how to facilitate this other avenue. So you all are a great hub for that to help them. I love that. So that would bring me into my next question, which you kind of touched on. What else do you bring to the table that's special? If there's another company that does what you do, why you? Why you two? What's special? But I know what's special about you guys, especially my Paula girl who's sitting there quiet. But
she's the outgoing one. I'm the shy. Can you tell?
She's the kingpin.
Yeah. I always say she's the brains of the outfit, and it's true.
Why you? What is, brag on yourself? You touched on a little bit, but give us some more.
Well, what I see in this industry, and we have this conversation a lot. And I'm trying to think of a sort of a way to frame it. The world of big bucks is probably 20 or 30, it's a few decades old. It also applies to dentistry. And, we own the magazine. We have the relationships with the contributors. We have the relationships with the advertisers. We have the relationship with our online content and the platform. Most of the others are owned by big publishing companies. So what I like to see come through our content is, that we know what it means to be a practice owner. And we've owned a dental practice. So we know what it takes when a front office person quits, and, it's a kick in the stomach for weeks or months. We know what it takes when you can't find a hygienist and the schedule's full and you can't schedule them. In a DSO, they just move one from one office to the other. And so I want it to come through. I don't want to, I'm not a dentist. I'm a business guy. I'm management and finance. So I get that piece of it, but from being ingrained in the practice world and really focusing on that, I think what makes us different is we're not, we don't publish The Profitable Dentist today and have a sales team that tries to sell advertising into The Profitable Dentist. And then tomorrow it's The Profitable Chiropractor. And the next day it's The Profitable Volunteer Fire Department. The next day it's something completely different. We just focus on and champion the sole practicing dentist owner and small group owner who is a dentist, not an accountant, small group owner. So I think what makes us different is we don't just understand the practice owner at an academic level. That's our people, period.
Right.
So, and as most publications have grown and evolved over the past few decades, they're owned by big publishing companies. They don't just do, dentistry. They do 20 different topics. They own, 18 different magazines on all kinds of topics, and the salespeople cross over and the editorial staff crosses over. And I think that comes through. So for us, we try to use dentists. We try to use a practice owning dentist and to communicate and create our content. And I think that's what makes us different.
Yes.
You know, we don't just hire an editor, you know, who did, I don't know, did car parts last week and, you know, motorcycles 2 months ago, and now they're editing dental articles. I feel that in a lot of the content I read out there in the industry today. So we try to be very genuine in our focus and our content, and sometimes it's hard, but we try to stay true to that, true to the dentist owner.
What I'm hearing is you're going to keep that personal touch.
Yes.
Right? Personal touch, culture, relationship, and real. And that's what I love about you all. I'm going to brag about them a little bit. They're the real deal. They're real people, very down to earth. I love them dearly. And you guys, it shows and reflects in how you deal with people, how the magazine is written, everything. It really does show. And I just want to say from my end, I appreciate and am honored to call you all my friends. You guys are the real deal.
Likewise.
Yeah. So I just want to say thank you for coming on. I hope that you all got to get a little glimpse, a little deeper of what's going on behind the profitable dentist, and Paula and Steve Parker. And like I said, they're my dear friends. I love them to death. You'll never get rid of me, guys. We're connected.
Good.
And for all of you, thank you for joining me. And until next time, make it happen.
Thanks, Denise. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.